hand positioning on a goose call. Now, this is something I might get a lot of heat for, but I'm so confident with this strategy that it's not necessarily the hand position, it's the learning strategy without hands. Okay, so when it comes to learning notes, I'm going to have people that disagree with me, but I think truly this is the best way to learn notes on a goose call as far as the mouth mechanics go. So the best way to learn notes on a goose call, in my opinion, is to not put your hands on the call whatsoever. I'm going to say this in every video that I do how to on each individual note. The reason for that, I don't know how many guys I know when they get out in the field, or I hear them calling, like say a weekend at game fair, you know, they're calling or whatever, and then as soon as they take their hands off the call, they just lose all their capability. They're relying on their hands so much. This is where I disagree. This is where I truly think if you can learn, when you learn notes, I think you should 100% learn them without using your hands, because your mouth mechanics will be so much better. If you can learn any note without your hands, it will be significantly better with hands. So learn notes without hands. A lot of people preach use your hands all the time, 100%. I agree with that. When you're calling, no matter what it is, stage, hunting, practicing, you should be using your hands. But when it comes to learning notes, I think to really strengthen your fundamentals is to practice the note itself, especially the learning process, pretty much only the learning process. You should practice without hands because, like I said, it'll make your mouth mechanics significantly better, way better. And I've noticed this not only in the people that I've taught this, but also me myself, because I used to be nothing but hands. And when it came to like open-handed calling, or oftentimes, say you're like flagging or whatever, you might only have one hand on it. And it's honestly, if you know how to work a goose call really good, you're best off calling like just like this, with one hand. But getting off track here, hands are still very, very important. It's one of the three main fundamentals. So the main three fundamentals I'd say that a lot of callers make mistake is their lip positions, their tongue position, and their hands. If you have those three correct, you will dominate it. So as long as you have those three fundamentals correct and you keep proceeding with goose calling and you're always learning stuff, say you plateau and you just keep learning stuff, that is what you got to do. Have good hands. So hand positioning. It's pretty straightforward, and if you keep this the same, whenever I goose call with hands, it's always the same. You got to have good hand positioning, consistent hand positioning, but to have really good fundamentals as far as, especially with tongue strength and like and muscle memory, it's the best to learn without hands, in my opinion. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your middle finger and have it pretty much split the end of the insert. And this falls wherever, because calls are different, you know. Not everyone's using a molt gear. So you're going to middle finger over, split at the end of the insert, and you're going to have these two fingers come down. Personally, me, because I use a lot of air, I'm a pretty powerful caller. I like to use all three of these because when I call, I'm pretty open-handed. But so I would suggest to you guys, especially if you're beginning and you're just trying to learn the fundamentals and whatnot, to for sure just use these two, your middle finger and your ring finger as like a little pocket. Close this end one off. Just focus on you're going to have the most control with your air with these two. So you're going to then connect your thumbs and place your hand over the top. And a lot of people, this is where a lot of people make mistake. This is not controlling your tone. This hand is not controlling your tone. This is controlling your tone and your inflection in the call. This is just to control the direction that you want your sound to go to. So say like a hiccup, for example, this has no guts in it, but you're going to do the moan like this, and then it's really nice if you reverse it like this. It sounds actually like two different geese. In fact, I'll just grab a call right here and show you. So it's kind of hard to tell because it's a video, but this is like a normal hiccup. Maybe you could tell, maybe you couldn't, but that's just to show you an example. That just controls. So this is your tone, and this offhand is the position of where you're throwing the sound. But yeah, hands, very important. Keep them the same, and you'll do great.